I've spoken a little bit about shame, and what I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about how I transitioned or worked through that shame. And it was for a long process for me to be able to do that. It took quite a while, but the main thing is don't give up. Whatever you do, you don't give up. You just keep doing it. Some days are better than other days. And what I have is, I have this bag, my dilly bag, and in it I have a whole lot of things that actually help me to recover from where I was, from the shame, the stigma. And there's one really important piece in here, my marbles. And I used to carry these with me. I've still got them. I still carry them with me, my marbles. And I used to think to myself, doesn't matter what people say, because I haven't lost my marbles. I've still got my marbles. Symbolism, the symbolism of the power of symbolism. And what that was embedding in my mind is that I'm okay. I'm still okay. And I have the proof of that. I'm carrying the proof of that with me. Another thing I did at the same time was I used mantras. I've spoken about mantras, but nursery rhymes as well. And one of my favourite nursery rhymes was Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And the implication there is that Humpty Dumpty was an egg and the egg fell on the floor and shattered, because all the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty together again. And I was going to prove the nursery rhyme wrong. Okay, because I was Humpty, I'd had a great fall, I'd fallen in society, in the eyes of myself, in the eyes of people that saw me as a failure, as a sociopath, as a thing rather than someone. I was going to rebuild myself. And so symbolism became an important part of that. And every time, while I was walking around, while I was doing things, when that negative thinking starts to eat away at your mind and you start to have that self-doubt and that shame starts to creep in again, I would start to recite Humpty Dumpty. And what that effectively did for me was that changed the way I was thinking just for those few moments. And so while I was reciting Humpty Dumpty over and over again, and my thinking started to change, then I could start to think or implant positive things into my thinking. For example, I got all the way through yesterday without swearing. That was big for me. Without drinking, without thinking bad of someone. As I progressed along that thinking and I started to change the way I was thinking, other things became important as well. I started to think about how I was dressed in the day. And I realised if I wanted to feel better about myself, I needed to start treating myself a little bit better, dressing a little bit better, rather than the dirty clothes, the faded clothes that I was wearing. And you'll notice today I try to dress a little bit better. And that's become an important part of my life, is to dress appropriately in the day. You know, and I guess that refers back to another symbol, you know, the way we dress culturally and appropriately. Another thing I realised was, if I wanted to feel good, think good things, think good thoughts. It's really easy to feel bad. All I have to do is start thinking some bad thoughts. Then I realised, if I'm thinking good things and I'm feeling better, what would happen if I started doing good things? Then I realised, if I want to feel even better, I do good things. If I want to feel bad, I do bad things. And I took that along, and I've carried that. I still carry that with me today. Those thinkings. You know, I like to be as healthy as I can through the day. Do somebody a good deed, you know, and not let them know about it, even if you don't like them. Do a good deed. They don't have to know. I find that really does help me. And there's lots of other things, and I'll talk about them later on, that I have in this magic little bag that I carried with me for a long time. And it's got lots of little things in it that have really helped me. We'll talk about them further down.